Snamibog. Remember, no Russian. A lot of guys ask me why I like tool watches. And my answer is very simple. I like my watches the same way I like my women. They can take a beating. Okay, хорошо. I have to admit, this is the worst thing that I have ever said on Watch Hacks. But there is a level of comfort in knowing that I have said the worst thing that I am going to say on Watch Hacks. F it. Next time I'm going to raise the bar. Let's start the show. Hello my friends and welcome. Today we are going to talk about watch straps. These are the straps that have crossed my path and I have personally used them, so I can give you my personal opinion on them. Cheapest NATO straps. They make regular NATO straps for $5 and they make them available in different sizes from 16mm all the way to 26mm, but for obvious reasons, you can understand why I chose this particular strap. The crown and buckle strap. This is the Supreme NATO strap and it is a modified NATO strap. They made some modifications on the original NATO strap and I will take you through them later on. The Omega NATO strap. This is a very luxurious NATO strap. Seatbelt material, absolutely ridiculously comfortable to wear. It has some flaws, but we will discuss this later. TAD Quantum strap. Expensive as Zulu Alpha straps. This is the original buckle system. And most of you guys already know by now that I swear by these straps. And I will explain to you later why this particular strap is biblical. The latest release from Zulu Alpha, the OTAN, an overly engineered NATO strap. And I will take you through all the modifications that they have done. And you will appreciate the craftsmanship and the thought process that went into making this strap. Finally, NDC. Well, who gives a shit? Fuck you, strap. Die, you strap. Okay, you get the idea. Back to the show. Okay, now we are back on the table. So we will start with the cheapest NATO straps. As you will see, there isn't really much thought process that went through here. It's a very regular NATO strap that keeps your watch in its place. It does the job. And that's about it. But I have noticed from using these straps is that it has a failure point in these holes. Because the pin in the buckle is very narrow. And this puts a lot of tension on the hole when you are wearing the strap. And after time, this hole will start to fray. And then it will open up on the second hole. So as time passes by, you will start to see these holes start to fray and maybe the edges also will fray. But this is $5 and you really get what you pay for. The Supreme NATO strap from Crown and Buckle is a modified NATO strap. And you will see that they have added more stitching at the keepers here to keep them in place and gives it that solid finish. It's quite thick than the regular NATO strap and the holes are heat sealed. But still I see two failure points here. The first one, again, it's being the very thin pin that will go through the hole and in time the hole will start to fray. The second failure point that I see is that the buckle itself is connected to the strap using a spring bar. And we all know spring bars in time, they do fail. You will take this strap with you to the water, you will sweat in it. At the end of the day, the spring bar inside the buckle will start to rust, it will decay, and at one point it will fail. And if this happens, the whole watch falls from your hand. Omega NATO. I personally really love this strap. I love how they have designed it and the seatbelt material that they have used. Again, they have added here more stitching to make it more durable, and they've added more stitching at the buckle, but the failure point remains that there is a spring bar and also the small hole that will fray with you in time. I have heavily used this strap and I still, until today, I did not see any problems with it. And I love the idea that they have a floating keeper. That way, you can adjust your strap and adjust the keeper to hold the strap in its place. So now you have the floating keeper here to adjust it. You can either bring the floating keeper to the bottom of the strap to hold it in its place, or the way I like to do it is to take it over the first loop and then into the second loop. Majestic as f***. The only reason I would recommend this strap is that if you already have an Omega watch and you want to have a matching strap with it, you might consider the option of getting the Omega NATO. For everyday use, I think it's alright. Will it hold up against extreme beating? This is yet to be tested. The TAD Quantum strap. I see they have used the same model and the same design of the Omega NATO. They have done double stitching over here and at the buckle, and they have also adopted the floating keeper situation. But I like the single upgrade that they have made is that now there is no spring bar. You actually have a bar that is screwed in its place. And this will never fail you. But the material itself, the webbing, I'm not a big fan. It's a very cheap plasticky nylon situation that they've got going on, and it will fray as fast as fuck. As you can see, the pin is too thin and it will put a lot of tension on the holes. And one thing that I don't think they have really thought through when they made this strap, the buckle has very sharp edges. And every time you slide the strap through, you are actually pressing against those edges, and in time, you will have this strap fraying on you. Now, it is expensive at $295, and I think it's mostly because these metal parts are actually titanium, and they are handmade in the USA by Rexford Knives. And I think the titanium does not really add any value. If this was stainless steel, if just regular stainless steel, if this was just regular stainless steel instead of titanium, how many fucking grams you are saving on your wrist? I mean, do I really need those extra milligrams to be lighter on my wrist? It's more of a nice to have, a luxury item. If you can afford it and you like the topo and you like the idea of TAD and exclusivity, you might want to spend $295 on this. But other than that, I cannot really recommend it with my clear conscience. This is the original, the buckle system, the Zulu Alpha Bond strap. A very clean strap, there are no holes to fray, there is no failure points, it's very simple to operate and use, completely adjustable, one size fits all. These buckles never failed me, and I never see how they will ever fail me. The way they are just set up, the excessive stitching, the quality build is just fucking mental. These guys are doing God's work in straps. And it gets better. The Zulu Alpha OTAN. This is an overly engineered NATO strap. Not only they have done stitching around the keepers, but also in between the keepers to make sure that everything is held tight and in its place and it will never wobble and move around and cause any issues. Same thing they have done here, very thick threading, absolutely mental. This is my shit. And they have mitigated all failure points. Instead of having a spring bar over here that will fail, they have done a bar with 2 screws. Plus these screws, they have some sticky juice inside in both sides, which means without deliberate actual force that you are putting on the screw to unscrew it, it will not unscrew by itself. Adding that sticky juice is a really nice touch. Finally, the holes. I love how they have done this. You have a very large area here. It's flat. And the holes themselves are also flat. And having a flat pin distributes the tension on the hole. So it's more durable this way. It really distributes the tension on the hole. I do not see these holes fraying anytime soon. So in short, the flaws of this strap is the holes and the webbing, but it's for $5, so you get what you pay for. The flaws of this strap is the holes and the spring bar at the buckle, but for $28, I think this is a good strap. I used them for some time, they are very comfortable, and I have not had anyone fail on me yet. The Omega NATO strap, yes, it is $175, and I can only recommend this if you already have an Omega watch and you want a matching strap to go with it. Will you abuse your Omega watch? I severely doubt it. Will this strap withstand extreme abuse? I have not tested this yet, but it's a good quality strap. The TAD Quantum strap, in short, the hardware is amazing. The way they have done the stitching, amazing. The way they have mitigated the spring bar issue, amazing. The strap itself, shit. I wish they have done a better quality nylon strap than this. It will fray, and I have seen a lot of pictures on forums where the holes were fraying up, the sides were fraying up. This thing was just rubbing against sharp edges and it's fraying every time you wear it. The only reason you will get this strap is that if you are a TAD junkie. Beyond that, I can't really recommend it with good heart and tell you, go buy this, it's a good strap. The Zulu Alpha O10 strap. This goes in the middle in terms of price range at $150, and you really get what you pay for. An overly engineered NATO strap that can withstand beating, will never fail on you. All failure points have been mitigated. The quality of the webbing itself is ridiculously strong, smooth, sexy, it's everything. And if this is the first time you see Zulu Alpha straps, do yourself a favor and get one. But I have to give you a warning. It will be a start of an addiction. Yes, an addiction. I can only wear these straps. The original Zulu Alpha Bond strap will always be my personal favorite. It never failed me. It will never fail me. The quality is just absolutely fucking mental. The way it just wraps around your wrist is just perfection. A very simple design, very effective. I hope you have learned some new shit today, and until next time, have a nice day.